Luigi Mangione, a hero? So the year 2024 has ended, and it ended with such twists and turns, with new lore, with long overdue discussions, and with a new name, Luigi Mangione. If you're not familiar with this name, where have you been? How is it to mind your business? How does the grass feel? Jokes aside, my name is Cindy, and I too didn't have much idea because this is a look from outside and I am indeed not American. But I do have family and friends there. And for the longest time, my family wanted to migrate to the US. But since paperwork is hell, especially if you try to do that from a whole other country and you don't speak English, well, good luck. Anyways, back to Luigi. Luigi Mangione is, very important to point that out here, the suspect, innocent till proven, of a murder of CEO Brian Thompson of United Health. And to take it from Wiki, even though school says not to cite Wiki, but this is my own page, and Wikipedia is a good source. United Health Group Incorporated is an American multinational for-profit company selling insurance products and healthcare services. It is the world's 9th largest company and the largest healthcare company by revenue. United Health Group had a market capitalization of $460.3 billion as of December 20, 2024. But who cares about the numbers, right? Brian Thompson cared. I guess. At least that's what I think as the CEO. And especially since his own net worth was a whopping $43 million estimated in February 2024. No front, Brian, but even though you were rich AF, the public and the media cares more about the potential murderer than the victim, as usual, especially when the suspect is young and hot. And double the interest when the lore is this intriguing. So, let me tell you all that happened, and that's the timeline that I know through social media as a chronically online person with no real further research.
And they say social media takes our attention span away. Just look at the amount of shit I know about this case already.
So it begins with Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health, being on his way to a big investor meeting. It's New York, middle of the day, and then he gets silently shot. 3 bullets engraved: delay, deny, depose. All 3 tactics used by healthcare companies to reject payment claims by patients. This already sounds like some type of Gotham Sin City type of situation. And then the hitman just bikes away, vanishes into the crowds of Central Park. Then footage from security cameras floods the internet. And it is said that he's super smart, left no trail, came from a whole other state by bus, slept in a hostel, paid everything by cash. Super smart guy. Had a target and finished his job. No one else got hurt. And then suddenly this other picture swarms the internet. In my opinion, they look nothing alike, but it gets attention. Not only is it some random dude with a similar jacket wearing a backpack being in a hostel, but he's super cute. Nice smile, nice teeth, seems charming. And the rumors go crazy. From a murderer, the internet makes him into some sort of Bond type of guy. Moving silently, ice-cold hitman, has a soft spot for women and cannot reject the opportunity to steal hearts. Our hearts. So he flirts crazy with the receptionist, apparently, and she teases him like, if you were that good looking, you wouldn't hide behind a mask. And of course, our little James Romeo Bond takes it down and gives her and us like the best smile ever, period. Everyone stop smiling because we've got an official winner. That's at least what the internet myth has foretold. And I'll probably regret this later, but the tea is teaing because it doesn't end there. As we know, the police is not the best, if ever, at their job, so of course they need the help of the public. They put 10 grand on the line for any tip leading up to his arrest. Mind you, Lady Gaga put more money out, around 50 grand, to get her kidnapped dog back. Not regarding what sick psycho kidnaps a dog, but that's a whole other story. So most of us wouldn't snitch, but unfortunately most of us live in capitalism, if not all, and are in desperate need of some money. Of course he got snitched. Just 5 days after the incident, he got reported by 2 customers and 1 employee of a McDonald's. Spotlight on, a 26-year-old Luigi Mangione finally enters the stage. Yep, he's caught in a McDonald's. And how convenient that he has a backpack full of the evidence with him, containing a manifesto, which is not published in its entirety, making this even more suspicious, fake IDs, bullets, and of course, a 3D printed gun. Duh. And they find another backpack, which is full of Monopoly money. What about the 10 grand? The 3 people who ratted him out did get nothing. But proving you can't trust anyone's word like that because they didn't get paid since they were calling the cops and not the designated tip hotline. Instead, this McDonald's probably got a worse review than the one in Guantanamo, and the employee couldn't work there anymore for their own safety. And now that he gets caught, his background is revealed. And it is not what most would have expected. He's white. Yes, Italians are white. Prestige private high school, Ivy League college, valedictorian. Smart, intelligent, good-looking guy coming from a wealthy family. Wealth they have accumulated over time through country clubs, having a radio station, and, of course, the medical sector. His own parents being in the business, profiting off old people and people with poor health. And as probably everyone with an internet connection, he has also left his trace on the World Wide Web. Besides this, people also noticed the number 286, Pokemon Breloom number 286, amounts of tweets 286, the McDonald's he got caught at 286 miles away from a murder scene, ignoring the fact that you guys still use miles. What else is with this number, you might ask? It's the code for denial in the healthcare system. Coincidence? Who knows? And even some part of his medical history is online, which leads us to his probably biggest motivation, even though he was not a patient of United Health. He suffers from a back injury, had surgery, and since then he's a chronic pain patient, meaning not only the past procedures but medication for life is needed and costly. Now that he's caught, then what? Unlike others, he's held without bond. They make him do this ridiculous and way too heavily armed herb walk. He has a fresh haircut since his arrest, styled eyebrows, meaning someone in the prison system has cared for him, showing the solidarity of the prisoners. Another incident showing the inmates' solidarity, a weird interview where the interviewer stood outside of a prison and the prisoners answered the questions by shouting out of the cell windows. All answers were in favor of Luigi. Big companies are taking down info about the CEOs online, saying the 3 words delay, deny, depose can get you in big trouble, apparently, as well as being a supporter or even consuming media showing support. And to get even more unhinged, he gets besides a long list of charges, one not only of murder in the first degree, but murder as an act of terrorism. This can now not only lead to life in prison without parole, but to a death sentence. The internet is obsessed. Some love him, some hate him. In my opinion, you have to look at the bigger picture because what happened after is more important. It's bigger than Luigi Mangione or Brian Thompson as individuals. What's important is the vast difference in how he and this case get treated. There are rumors that Luigi himself is rather right-leaning. He is wealthy, he is white, he is from a higher social class. Still, left-wing, right-wing, low-income, even prisoners are supporting him. It's Goliath against David, and it's a class war. He makes our enemy's enemy our friend, and he's not charged, but he is already the face for this case and hopefully for a change in society or at least for the healthcare system in the US. And it's not important for his status if he did it or not. Rosa Parks wasn't the first black person sitting in a white bus seat either. He has the right background, the right skin color to not get put into the hateful rhetoric of what a typical criminal should look like. And so we can compare him to all the other perpetrators, to all other charged or in most cases not charged murderer. The next part involved quite some research on my part to get my facts straight, so I have linked some below and I invite you to read more into them and comment about every other case not mentioned because I know that there are millions. Murderers, innocent, even if proven. Clint Allen Lawrence, a former United States Army officer who has been convicted and pardoned for war crimes, literal war crimes, related to the killing of 2 unarmed Afghan civilians. Neither of his charges contained murder as an act of terrorism. He walks free. Kyle Rittenhouse, who killed 2 people, both unarmed, injured another person, all on August 20 in Kenosha, Wisconsin during protests. Charges of possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18 and failure to comply with an emergency order from state or local government, both dismissed by the trial judge. He was also, among other things, charged for first-degree, intentional, and reckless homicide. The result: not guilty on all charges. Walks free. George Zimmerman, February 2012, in Florida. 28-year-old Zimmerman killed a black child. Murdered 70-year-old unarmed Trayvon Martin. Was acquitted. Walks free. You want a more recent case? Then let's go to New York. Same town, another white perpetrator. In this case, it's Daniel Penny, a then 24-year-old United States Marine Corps veteran who put a 30-year-old unarmed Jordan Neely for 6 minutes in a chokehold, strangling him even after he already went limp. Difference here: Jordan Neely was black, homeless, and had mental health issues. That the system has failed him is apparent, even more so when you know that his own mother not only got stabbed to death, but her corpse got stuffed into a suitcase by her then boyfriend, of course leading to mental health issues. After the incident, Penny got taken in for questioning by the NYPD and only a few hours later got released without charge. Then 10 days later, double the time of Luigi Mangione, he got charged with second-degree manslaughter and was released on bond. This charge was dismissed, and even the charge of criminally negligent homicide got acquitted. There was never a discussion about a murder charge, nor one of terrorism, nor was the death penalty ever up for discussion. And sorry, I've thrown the word terrorism around a couple of times without really exploring. So let me quote the FBI. Domestic terrorism, violent criminal acts committed by individuals and or groups to further ideological goals stemming from domestic influences such as those of a political, religious, social, racial, or environmental nature. So what about the murder of Ahmaud Arbery on February 2020 in Georgia, where 3 white men pursued a black man, Arbery, in their trucks to then fatally shoot him? That sounds very violent and very racially motivated. Still, this attack got categorized as a murder, a shooting, an anti-black racism hate crime. All true. But no act of domestic terrorism, apparently. The list of charges was long, but never was there discussion about a death sentence. Not violent enough? Then let's talk about mass shootings. Mass shootings are defined by 4 or more people, excluding the perpetrator, being shot in one location at roughly the same time. One of the deadliest school shootings is the Parkland High School shooting, taking place in February 2018 in Florida. Nicholas Cruz killed 17 people, another 17 were injured. He got convicted of 17 counts of premeditated first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Again, not ruled an act of terrorism, though very violent and stemming from social nature. In 2023 alone, 754 people were killed and 2,443 other people were injured in 604 shootings in the US. More people than in this picture were killed only in 1 year. Overall, around this amount of people were affected by mass shootings in the US in only 1 year. January 2023, Half Moon Bay shooting in California. 7 dead, 1 injured. All were working on farms. Trial will not start until late April this year, 2025. Categorized as workplace violence. High school graduation shooting in June 2023, Richmond, Virginia. 2 dead, 5 injured. Perpetrator sentenced to 43 years in prison. November 2022, Colorado Springs nightclub shooting. 5 dead, 19 injured. Anti-LGBTQ extremism. None of these got charged for murder as an act of terrorism. None of these ever had the death sentence up for discussion. Yeah, but maybe you might say, these were low income, even homeless persons marginalized because of their sexual orientation, because of their beliefs or their race.
Brian Thompson was neither of these.
True. So let me present to you my last example, the Idaho killings. 4 young white college students killed in November 2022. Suspect Brian Koberger, 28 years old at the time, PhD student. The victims are young, white, educated, and have a promising life ahead, same as the perpetrator. 4 lives taken, and it took over 6 weeks to find the murderer. 1 CEO life taken, and it took 5 days. The murder of 4 young college students happened over 2 years ago, and the trial will begin in August this year, 2025, almost 3 years later. The trial for Luigi Mangione, planned for mid-February this year, only 2 months after the fatal shooting. The list goes on forever. It's scarily long. And these were only examples of solved murder cases. For funsies, I made a spreadsheet of the last 10 years, and for better visual comparison, I made this chart showing unresolved murder cases as a percentage of the total number of cases within an ethnic group. Meaning, if you're black in the US and you get murdered, the odds are doubled that your case won't get solved compared to your dead white counterpart. Unfortunately, we don't have enough data to compare the case-solving skills of regular cases and CEO cases, so that's all I've got for now. We shouldn't focus on whether Luigi Mangione is a hero or not. It's not about the murder of this individual. It's about the circumstances. The question is, if it were you, or them, or me, would the police act this fast? Would your death be ruled a case of domestic terrorism? Would the court, would the justice system try to solve your case this fast? Would your murderer get this much attention? Would your perpetrator get this heavy of a sentence? Time has proven the answer is a definite no. The real question is whether the system is just, and it is not. We are not treated as equals, and this case has proven it once again. And even though it might look crystal clear, the elections have sadly shown otherwise. So let me say this again. The system you live in is not fair. Gun violence is not normal. The healthcare system is only for profit, and the justice system is rigged. Police can't be trusted, as well as your next president. So, editing Cindy here. This is my very first YouTube video, and producing and editing it took way longer than anticipated. So it's not your next president, but your now president. And yeah, even though everything seems to suck now, I still hope that you enjoyed watching my video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe and comment. I have linked all of my sources, my other social media and also my Patreon down below. Hope to see you again soon. Bye!